पुकार,
बंद करो ये अत्याचार।
नहीं चलेगी, नहीं चलेगी,
पशु क्रूरता नहीं चलेगी,
नहीं चलेगी, नहीं चलेगी,
पशु क्रूरता नहीं चलेगी।
हमारी पृथ्वी
उनकी भी,
जीने का हक किसको है?
इंसान जानवर सबको है,
आजादी का हक किसको है?
इंसान जानवर सबको है।
दूध मलाई मक्खन छोड़,
पिंजरा तोड़ हिंसा छोड़,
मांस मच्छी अंडे छोड़,
पिंजरा तोड़ हिंसा छोड़,
मांस छोड़ो,
दया जोड़ो,
दूध छोड़ो,
दया जोड़ो,
अंडा छोड़ो,
दया जोड़ो,
शहद छोड़ो,
दया जोड़ो।
ये भोजन नहीं,
ये हिंसा है।
जानवर
Animals feel pain.
Just like us,
Cows feel pain.
just like us,
Hens feel pain.
just like us,
Animals feel pain.
just like us,
Animals deserve freedom.
just like us,
Their body,
not us,
their skin,
not us,
their flesh,
not us,
their milk.
not us,
Animals feel pain.
just like us,
Cows feel pain.
just like us,
Hens feel pain.
just like us,
Fishes feel pain.
just like us।
जानवर हमसे करे पुकार.
बंद करो ये अत्याचार,
जानवर हमसे करे पुकार.
बंद करो ये अत्याचार।
What do we want?
Animal liberation,
What do we want?
animal liberation,
What do we want?
animal liberation,
When do we want it?
now,
When do we want it?
now,
What do we want?
animal liberation,
When do we want it?
now,
What do we want?
animal liberation,
When do we want it?
now,
What do we want?
animal liberation,
When do we want it?
now,
What do we want?
animal liberation,
When do we want it?
now।
आमची आणि प्राण्यांची ही धर्तरी कोणाची?
आमची आणि प्राण्यांची
दूध सोड,
दया जोड,
दूध सोड,
दया जोड,
तात्या सोड,
दया जोड,
तात्या सोड,
दया जोड,
मांस सोड,
दया जोड,
मांस सोड,
दया जोड।
आमका किते जाय प्राण्यांची मुक्ती, प्राण्यांची मुक्ती, आमका किते जाय
प्राण्यांची मुक्ती, प्राण्यांची मुक्ती।
आमका ही केन्ना जाय,
आता जाय, आता जाय,
आमका ही केन्ना जाय,
आता जाय, आता जाय।
कोंबड्याची अंडी आमची नाही, कोंबड्याची अंडी
आमची नाही,
गायचे दूध
आमचे नाही,
गायचे दूध
आमचे नाही,
म्हशीचे दूध
आमचे नाही।
What do we want?
Animal liberation,
When do we want it?
now,
Are we going to fight for it?
yes,
Will we get it?
yes।
To ignore it if at all there is any.
साहेबा तू फाटल्यान करो तो बॅनर दिसची पडतो बाय साहेबा साहेबा
killing is not
Animal liberation! Now! Animal liberation! Now!
बैठ ना मरे बैठ में हो जाए नो किती पाहू रे आप म्हाका सांग बरे किती पाहू तो तुका खंय घेवया तांकां बाय
प्राण्यांची मुक्ती, प्राण्यांची मुक्ती, प्राण्यांची मुक्ती।
आमका ही केन्ना जाय, आता जाय, आता जाय, दूध सोड, दया सोड, दूध सोड,
दया जोड,
मांस सोड,
दया जोड,
मांस सोड,
दया जोड।
animals deserve freedom,
Just like us,
animals deserve freedom,
just like us, just like us, just like us।
Come everyone, come this side. Also come in the photo. Who's taking?
I'm here.
2-minute photo session. Are some of our people also take leave?
So, good evening, Goa. We are a group of grassroots independent animal liberation activists, and today, on the eve of Goa Liberation Day, we are here to remind our fellow humans that just like how our freedom is important for us, so also the freedom that we have deprived from the animals is important to them as much, right? So when we celebrate today, we take our freedom for granted, but whoever was born back in those colonial times, they had to struggle for it, right? So today we are here to be the voice of the animals, and the animals are not voiceless. We humans just refuse to listen to their voices and their struggles. And so today the We Goan is joined by animal liberation activists from across the country, from several cities of our nation, to celebrate it and animal liberation, and that is what we are striving for. Now what are we aiming for is we are trying to create awareness about how using animals for any reason is wrong, whether it is for food, whether it is for clothing like silk, leather, wool, fur, whether it is for entertainment, that is zoos, circuses, animal rides, whether it is for animals in research laboratories for cosmetics and for pharmaceutical testing, or for any other reason. Animals do not consent to do these things for us. We force them to do it. It is slavery that we are inflicting upon our fellow earthlings. Cows do not give us milk. We steal the milk that they make for their babies. Animals do not want to die to satisfy our taste buds for flesh. We forcibly take their lives away from them. Animals do not give us wool, animals do not give us leather, animals do not give us silk. We torture them and we eventually murder them to forcibly take it away from them. No animal is happy being used for rides. The horse doesn't want you to sit on its back. The elephant does not want it either, right? Neither does the rabbit want poisonous chemicals dripped into his eyes so that humans can use shampoos and mascaras and lipsticks. So every animal is relentlessly being tortured, and that is what we are here to create awareness about. And it's also, we don't really need any animal products for survival because there is enough scientific research. There's a huge body of scientific research which has now very clearly stated that we do not need to eat animals for survival. In fact, we are healthier on a well-planned plant-based diet. Also, exploiting animals is one of the biggest contributors to so many of the environmental problems that we see today. Whether it is climate change, world hunger, deforestation, because we artificially breed into existence 76 billion land animals every year, and we are killing them at the rate when they are just babies. Like chickens raised for meat are killed at just 45 days old. Cows that are forced to give milk after they stop giving milk are killed at just 4 or 5 years old when they can live for a good 15 to 20 years. Male chicks in the egg industry are killed on the day they are born because they are male and because they will not lay eggs. So the egg industry considers them useless and they are thrown alive into a huge grinder just because they are male. And so it is likewise with every animal that is used and inevitably abused for human wants. In research laboratories, in places of entertainment, and everywhere. These animals do not give us anything, we forcibly take away from them. So that is what we are trying to highlight, this injustice. In the words of Martin Luther King Jr., the leading civil rights activist in America who campaigned against racism, he said, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." So when we inflict injustice upon animals, collectively as a society, we are actually desensitizing our own fellow humans to oppression across the board. When we give out a message that it is okay to oppress animals, to torture animals, the same will ultimately reflect upon how we interact with our fellow human beings as well. So that is why today we are trying to show, just before we go and celebrate our Liberation Day, that both animal liberation and human liberation are inseparable and interconnected. It isn't possible to really achieve, to have one without having the other. Thank you.
Animal liberation. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Animal liberation. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Animal liberation. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Animal liberation. When do we want it? Now. Animals feel pain. Just like us. Goats feel pain. Just like us. Cows feel pain. Just like us. Chickens feel pain. Just like us. Fishes feel pain. Just like us. Their body. Not us. Their skin. Not us. Their flesh. Not us. Their milk. Not us. जानवर हमसे करे पुकार. बंद करो ये अत्याचार. जानवर हमसे करे पुकार. बंद करो ये अत्याचार. जानवर हमसे करे पुकार. बंद करो ये अत्याचार. What do we want? Animal liberation. What do we want? Animal liberation. When do we want it? Now. When do we want it? Now.
आमची आणि प्राण्यांची ही धरतरी कोणाची? आमची आणि प्राण्यांची. आमका किदे जाय प्राण्यांची मुक्ती, प्राण्यांची मुक्ती. आमका किदे जाय प्राण्यांची मुक्ती, प्राण्यांची मुक्ती. गायचे दूध आमचे नाही, गायचे दूध आमचे नाही. कोंबड्याची अंडी आमचे नाही. आमका किदे जाय प्राण्यांची मुक्ती, प्राण्यांची मुक्ती. आमका ही केन्ना जाय, आता जाय, आता जाय.
सगळी हांगा प्राण्याच्या मुक्ती खातीर जमल्यात. आमी अशें मानतात की प्राणी आमच्या वापरा खातीर जल्मुनात आनी तांकां आमी एकटी सोडची आनी तांकां त्रास करपाक बंद करचे. तांचेर दुधा खातीर, अंड्यां खातीर, मांसा खातीर खूब अत्याचार जाता. गोंयकार तर फक्त गोंयकारचें म्हण आसा की आमकां नुस्त्या शिवाय जगू शकना, पण आमी जगू शकतात. हांगा सगळी लोक नुस्त्या शिवायच जगतात. नुस्त्यांक तांच्या हालार सोडात, तांकां त्रास करनाकात. तांकांय भावना आसतात. आमी सुशेगान रावपाक जाय आनी तांकांय सुशेगान जगपाक दिवपाक जाय.
ஊர்வலத்துக்காக நான் தமிழ்நாட்டில் ஊர்வலத்துக்காக நான் தமிழ்நாட்டில் கோயம்புத்தூர்லேருந்து கோவா வந்திருக்கேன். கோவா விடுதலை தினம் இன்னும் 2-3 நாளில் வருது. அதுக்கு முந்தி விலங்குகளுக்கும் விடுதலை தேவை, நம்மளை மாதிரியும் அவங்களுக்கு உணர்வெல்லாம் இருக்குது அப்படின்னு எல்லா மனிதர்களோட மனசுலையும் அடங்கி இருக்கிற நியாய உணர்வை தட்டி எழுப்புறதுக்கு தான் இந்த ஊர்வலம். இதை பற்றி நம்ம யோசனை பண்ணால், நம்ம அன்றாட உபயோகப்படுத்துகிற ஒவ்வொரு பொருள் விலங்குகளிலிருந்து வந்தால் அவங்களுடைய கன்சென்ட், பர்மிஷன் இல்லாமல் தான் வருது. இதை நம்ம யோசனை பண்ணி விலங்கு பொருள் எதா இருந்தாலும் நாம் என்னைக்கு உபயோகிக்காமல் நிறுத்துகிறோமோ அந்த அன்னைக்கு மட்டும்தான் அவங்களுக்கு விடுதலை கிடைக்கும். கோவா மக்களுக்கெல்லாம் விடுதலை வந்தால் பத்தாது, விலங்குகளுக்கும் விடுதலை தேவை. Animals need their liberation. Thank you for listening.
सर्व ॲनिमल ॲक्टिव्हिस्टने इथं व्हेगनिझमबद्दल एक प्रोटेस्ट केला आणि या प्रोटेस्ट मागचं कारण हेच आहे की आपण आपल्या दैनंदिन जीवनात बऱ्याचशा गोष्टी यूज करतो, जसं आहार असला किंवा वैद्यकीय चिकित्सा असली त्याच्यामध्ये होणारा रिसर्च, किंवा आपण जे प्रोडक्ट्स वापरतो लेदर प्रोडक्ट्स त्याच्यामध्ये असलं, किंवा बाकी अजून सिल्क इंडस्ट्री असली, जे मध असतं ज्याला आपण हनी म्हणतो, अशा अनेक इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये आपल्या दैनंदिन जीवनात लागणाऱ्या वस्तूंना जे आपण वापरतो त्याच्यासाठी खूप जनावरांवर अत्याचार होतो. आणि याचे सर्वांचे अल्टरनेटिव्ह अवेलेबल असताना सुद्धा आपण हा अत्याचार थांबवू नाही शकत आहे. आणि ही फार एक शोकाची गोष्ट आहे आणि हे बदलावं, आपण याच्यात बदल आणावे यासाठी आज आम्ही हा प्रोटेस्ट केला. आणि व्हेगनिझम हा फक्त एक आहार नाही आहे, डाएट नाही आहे, तर ही एक लाईफस्टाईल आहे, म्हणजे जीवनशैली आहे. आणि आपल्या जीवनात जे सुद्धा आपण वस्तू वापरतो, जे आपण कृती करतो, आपण सर्वांनी एक त्याच्यामध्ये विचार केला पाहिजे आणि जास्तीत जास्त आपल्या परीने प्रयत्न केला पाहिजे की याच्यामुळे कुठल्या जनावराला इजा नको पोहोचायला, कारण की ती मुकी जनावरं, त्यांचा याच्यात काही दोष नाही आहे. आणि आपण आज विज्ञानाच्या सहाय्याने इथवर आलो आहेत, आपल्याकडे टेक्नॉलॉजी आहे, आपण जरूर प्रयत्न केला पाहिजे की या जनावरांची पीडा आपण थांबवली पाहिजे. धन्यवाद.
Veganism is not some sort of fancy diet. Veganism is not what the food influencers are telling you on social media, what the celebrities are telling you. Veganism is not about avocados. Veganism is not about cashew cheese. Please stop portraying veganism in the wrong light. There is only one aim of veganism, and that is animal liberation. That's it. Veganism is ensuring that everyone sticks to this notion that animals are not commodities. They are not here for our use. They are not here for our abuse. They are not here to be abused. Let them live. Let them live a natural life. We have no right to interfere with them. Thank you.
We go in a group of animal liberation activists. We do awareness programs like this march. Then we also do something called street outreach, wherein we show videos to people where all the animal exploiting industries about how they profit from animals and how we can be the change. Right? We do that. We show videos to people and that's how we create awareness. We also conduct programs in schools and colleges, and we do a whole lot of other activities to increase awareness about the social justice movement of veganism. Now, today we have gathered here to explain the connection between animal liberation and human liberation. Now, after this, we will be proceeding towards outreach, wherein we will be showing videos to people in several important public places across Panjim. And tomorrow we will also be doing a wall painting in a very prominent location in Panjim, wherein there will be artwork and very creative messages about animal liberation. So that is going to leave a lasting impact of our work. And so that's the gist of our work. We are basically a group that is trying to spread awareness about veganism, help people understand how unknowingly they are actually the cause of so many trillions of animals suffering, and how we have the power to change it, and how we can be the change, and how we can drive change, and how eventually, even though animal exploitation now is in this current circumstances it is legal, but just like how child labor was legal once upon a time, like how slavery was legal once upon a time, like how discrimination towards women was legal and considered acceptable, but then when society realized that it is wrong, we woke up to it, and eventually the laws also changed. So that is what we hope to achieve towards. That's the ultimate goal, to make animal liberation a widespread movement and to end animal slavery eventually. Thank you.
Give me the southern laws and...
See, as of now, the current position of the law is that animals are considered commodities. They are considered nothing more than property, right? So practices like grinding up male chicks, one-day-old male chicks alive because they do not lay eggs, these are all legal practices. Artificial insemination of cows, which is nothing but sexual assault. It's like given a very fancy scientific sounding term called artificial insemination. But if the same thing were done to a non-consenting human female, we would term it as sexual assault and rape. All these practices are considered legal. They are legal in the dairy industry, right? Then the killing of animals, it's all considered legal. So we can only bring mass change by creating awareness. That's the first step, and that is the root of how all social justice movements have followed. When there is mass awareness, only then will the government be prompted to bring about legislative change. As of now, since it's like a very tiny minority of us, we are trying to create awareness, and that is the strategy, because governments only work when people are in favor of something. So we need to create the change and to bring the knowledge of animal oppression and animal torture to the masses. So that's what we work towards.